Peekaboo.
Peekaboo. Peacock you.
Well, welcome to our first goddess class. We are excited to be here, and we decided that we wanted to do the goddess, whether you believe they're real or fiction, but just to help empower and help us bring that yin energy, help us find our special tools, and listening to our inner voice is kind of why we decided we wanted to do goddesses this year.
Yeah, it's time that we step forth into our true inner self and bring that forth and help the divine energy. We each have the divine energy and the masculine energy, and it's time to really be the true self that we can be to support each other and humanity on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we get into our goddess of this month, today was the lunar eclipse. We've got the full moon, supermoon, blood moon, and blue moon.
Yes.
So there was a lot of moon stuff going, and the goddess we chose was Jana because she's a moon goddess. So if you've got all this stuff going with the moon, what better to choice than a moon goddess who can help us with that? And so we went today. We got up and we're part of the lunar eclipse. And
yes, at 5:45 we began to watch the lunar eclipse this morning.
And it was interesting. It was an interesting thing. I know I started out kind of like, why am I up this early? And was not probably the happiest person about waking up. But then I knew once I got out of the house and in the moon energy and around this beautiful lady that my mood would change, and it did. So.
And one interesting thing with it this morning, we had an idea how we thought it was going to go. When we started to video with our phones, the moon became very blurry and you couldn't pick anything up. We really had the wrong device to actually video the whole eclipse so that you could watch it today. So it was interesting that we let go and we didn't get attached to how things were this morning. We just had fun with how it turned out and knew that was just part of the journey.
Well, even on our drive, like where we started, and I think we ended up at like the third spot,
right?
Which was interesting though. When we landed at that third spot after getting some detours and stuff, we landed at 6:51 exactly,
right.
And that was the moment of the full starting. So we were like watching all of this, and right when we stopped, that was like the partial was over and the full started right at that moment. So
yeah, we arrived at the right moment.
Yeah. And you're right, letting go of control and expectations, right. And just going with the flow. So
yes.
One of the things that came through for me, just with my meditations and preparing for this work, was about the moon and the sun. And the sun, to me, is symbolic for our true essence. We're the light. At the core, we are this light. Now, clouds may come and try to cover us, but we're still the light. We're still there. We're still shining, like the sun always does. And the moon, we celebrate phases. We celebrate the changes of the moon. The moon's a reflection of the earth and the sun. And so that just came through to me loud and clear as celebrating our reflections, celebrating our phases in life, and just paying attention to what those are and being aware of the flow of things and the change and the stages of life, because there's so many stages.
Well, and I'd like to talk a little bit about after we videoed, Audrey was all bubbly, she was all excited, she just thought it was great today. And then I looked at her and I said, I don't know, I could cry. I got very emotional. I don't know, I just took everything in. I got very emotional. I'm not usually an emotional person, but it was just like, I felt like all of the emotions and people of January, I could feel everything. And so I carried that till I got to work. And then once I got to work, I started looking at it. And I asked the question, is this really mine? Is this mine? Or is it someone else's? Have I took on the consciousness of everyone's emotions today as they're coming up? And my body started releasing them and the emotions started to go. But then I was also okay with having the emotions because there was a part of me that said, well, can I be good in this? Can I let my body totally be an allowance and awareness and receive whatever the emotions are bringing up for change. So there were several different things to look at today. There's no right or wrong with it. It's just choices that we get to look at when we start to look at things. It doesn't mean someone else's experience is better than yours. Once you quit judging, we all have experiences, and it's where we are in life. Yeah. So I did want to bring that up as well. If you're going through changes, or if you're in classes and everybody's always happy when they come through and you're like, I didn't get that feeling, well, we're just working on other areas.
Yeah. And this full moon, or the lunar eclipse, is already good about letting go of things. Yep. And purging and stuff. And this one's got some extra energy, some extra whoop behind it. So know that through this next week that there is going to be a lot of purging. So right. It'll be your personal purging, your personal letting go, your personal door closing, but then collectively there's right. going to be a lot. And a lot of people, some people are conscious and do the work and try to, navigate through this stuff. And then other people just aren't to that stage in their journey yet. So very, very good point of remembering when something comes through to actually sit with it instead of numbing it or hiding it or ignoring it. Sit with it and find what pieces are yours and what vibrations need to be healed within yourself, and then what are pieces that aren't even yours that you just empathically picked up.
Right. And then nurture yourself. Do what you need to do for yourself. If you need to be by yourself, you need to take time. Do what you need to do for you.
Yes. Very good.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to our goddess this month,
Jana.
We left the mirror in the background here.
Yep. The mirror.
Because Jana was all about mirrors and doorways. And one of the quotes that I saw that I loved about it is said, when God closes a door, she opens a window, talking about Jana. And I thought that was really good about our persistence, that sometimes things don't go the way we want. So have persistence and look at things creative. Do we always have to use a door? Can we use a window? What ways can you be creative with your persistence and reflecting, okay, is this something that I just need to let go of, or is it something that I need to be persistent and keep moving through? So.
And then sometimes they're just guiding us into the dawning of the awareness of who we are. And so each doorway that you come to, just begin to look at it. Is it a doorway that I want to go through? Do I have to go through it? Is it mine? Where am I at? What am I feeling? Just start to ask questions, because questions, the more questions you ask, the more it changes things for you in life, because questions help move that energy. And if you start to judge it, it blocks the energy. So if you would say, no, I can't go through that door because blah, 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 well, guess what? You're not going through that door, and you might have missed an opportunity, and you could have just said, hey, what's possible behind that door? So start looking at how and what you say, asking, and see what else can be created.
Yeah. And another thing with Jana, she was all about mirrors and reflection. She was about doorways, and some of the research I saw was like, looking at the different type of doorways. We have doors that are open and shut. We have just the doorway where no door is there. And it, with staying on the doorways before so much stuff, but for going in the mirrors, but like the doorways, I, in a meditation, I had reflected just the doorways, the ones that don't have doors on them. And these are like our roles, the things we do throughout a daily basis, when we co-create and work through with people. And I saw this long path of doorways and then branches off of that, which are, the roles I play or the people I intertwine with. And there was a situation in my life that I realized that, like, I was up here, and it's not a judgment that up here is better than back here, but I was up there and there was something I was still trying to hold on to. So it was like I was having to run back through all those doors to come back to this doorway here, and it didn't have a door on it. It was just the doorway. And I was having to constantly run back and forth to come try to fit. This door wasn't following me in my path. It wasn't branching off and helping with my evolution. And so I was like, wow, that's exhausting. And so the challenge for me is, and then I had to reflect, and I haven't quite got the answer do I need to burn this doorway? Do I leave it open? Do I need to build a door and put a chain lock on it? What do I need to do with this? I haven't quite got the clarity on that yet. But I just challenge you to look at what your doorways, what are the things that you're interacting with on a daily basis, and are they evolving with the path you're going, or are you finding you're having to run way back and kill your energy and kill your time and stuff to interact with something that maybe needs to be let go of or burned or locked or whatever comes through for you. So that was just kind of some reflections that came through for me with doorways.
And as you're kind of talking about that, I was thinking about the inside part of you and how many people out there departmentalize, and it's like this part goes in this room inside of you, this part goes in this room inside of you, this part goes in this room inside of you. What happens when all those doors and windows come open and you stop putting everything within you in some department or somewhere in your body instead of just being in the moment with everything? I mean, what happens when you open up all your doors and windows inside of you and take a different look at how you can be as well? For all the people out there that put things in compartments within themselves so that they don't have to deal with this right now or maybe later. Or
because we talk about work-life balance sometimes,
right.
And we're like, oh, I can do this, and when we compartmentalize, we forget that wherever
right.
we are there. That
right.
essence, that sun, that light is
right.
wherever we are. So we don't.
Yeah, so we're still taking it.
Yeah, so we don't need to separate it. How can
right.
we be our authentic self? No matter what doorway we're going through,
right.
no matter what window we're looking out
yeah.
of, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
How can we just be us?
Yeah. And not
yeah.
have to compartmentalize. Like, how do we make our
right.
life fit to where we can truly be us?
Right. But that's part of
no
the
matter
doorways.
What we do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an inner reflection in the mirror.
Very cool.
Yeah, we just got that one. That was great.
This is an evolving thing as we started talking about this work and stuff. And Jana wasn't a well-known goddess, so that you can go research, and there's not a ton of information out there.
Not.
So one of the reasons we like that is the challenge of us coming inward and finding what comes through us and what messages right. come through with us. So that's one reason.
And what does Jana mean to us? And it's like when you sat with the energy of it, I mean, what does it do for you? If you sat with Jana, just because January's over, go ahead and still set in the energy. What do you get from the energy? What does it mean for you? Because just because someone else has defined it for you doesn't mean that that's how it is for you either.
Yeah, and Jana was January goddess as
right.
well, and she was symbolizing having two faces, being able to see the past and the future, and that's January, right. like starting new beginnings and stuff like that. So that's another reason why she was in January, and obviously we're on the last day of January. But it doesn't mean you can't set new intentions. You can't, like right. we think, oh, January 1st, got to set these intentions and these goals and these resolutions and stuff. And why can't we do that daily? Why can't
That's
we
right.
show up daily and start each day new and fresh and not be carrying all of our baggage with
right.
us? Our video earlier today was about emotional baggage and how much of that
That's
do
right.
we carry. So
that's right. We put that in our suitcase and got rid of it.
Yeah, it's new. And so going into mirrors, I know Jana, that it was said to, for her deviation tools, use mirrors and molten tin as her tools to connect with spirit and things. And me personally, when I started thinking about mirrors and stuff, because, there's a lot of myth and scary stories and different things about mirrors, and I realized I have a little bit of fear about mirrors. I mean, I can look at myself in the mirror, but how deep am I looking at myself? So if there's a fear about mirrors or feeling that something in a mirror can hurt me, what fears do I need to let go of with the mirrors, and what do I need to clear in my own mirrors and my own reflection in the world? So
right. And if you're gonna use mirrors and you're gonna really look into the mirror, I suggest that you go through your house and you clear every single mirror in your house, because all of your mirrors, just think of all of the projections that people put in a mirror. They don't like how they look, they don't like their body, They don't like this or they don't like that. I don't know, maybe some people they're beautiful and they put that into the mirror, but most people put a lot of judgments and projections. So if you go through your house, clear your mirrors. You can, however you want to clear them. If you want to use sage, if you want to say a saying over it or a prayer, and just clear the energy from it so that each day your mirror is a clear reflection of you. There's no judgments, projections. You just start new each day looking at yourself in that mirror and seeing what each day your true self can be and how much of your true self can you bring out into that mirror. You know, mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the most beautiful of them all? You are.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, we all are unique and finding that. And just be conscious, because how many times have you like brushed your teeth in the mirror, combed your hair, and you're not even paying attention to the thoughts that are running through your mind?
Yeah.
So what are you subconsciously putting into that mirror? Even if you're like, oh yeah, I can look in the mirror. Like, what are you subconsciously putting out there? So, you know, maybe this will challenge you when you're looking in your mirrors to, oh, wait, what was I thinking about right now?
Right.
Or what do I think about myself right now? What is this mirror showing me? And not even just literal mirrors, which we decided to leave this one. I think I said that already, but I'm watching my head bob around in the back. So.
You can see the back of it.
The back of my head. But not just the physical mirrors, but your reality, like the people that are around you, strangers, the things that are happening in your daily life. If something triggers you, that's a mirror, it's a reflection, it's showing you something. So it's, you know, the moon mirrors the sun and the earth, and so our reality though is, you know, if everybody around you is super angry, what part of you is super angry inside? How do you look at the reflection as a mirror?
Yeah. So just keep looking in the mirror and keep changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then Jana used the peacock, which was
we brought our peacock
feathers at the beginning. You know, peacock is mirrors the eyes, being able to see, and you know, it's funny. I saw a lot of people. There was a thing that Jana you could invite her into your life by using peacock feathers. For her to see, and so some people really looked at her as good luck and it was a good thing, and then some people were like, oh, I don't want some pagan goddess in my life, and it's a bad luck to have peacock feathers
in your house. Yes.
Yeah, so it was interesting just to see the different reflections of what people actually think about a peacock, and do you believe that the peacocks are actual eyes and people can see through it, or is it a myth? You know, what does that mean to you? So it was just kind of fun to see the different ways with that. So
how many different ways the peacock can show up in your life.
Yeah, and when we first did the peacock, it was like, and I even got a little peacock inspired shirt to wear. But when first peacock came, I started seeing peacock stuff everywhere. A quilt, puzzles. The peacock stuff just started showing up in random places. So
and I was given a peacock feather. I had a drawing done, and somebody added the peacock because they were adding animals into it, and the animal totem of peacock showed up in it. And I thought, well, that's interesting that we're doing this, and peacock shows up in that. So we'll have to see what else the peacock can bring, because peacock's got great attributes and totems that you can use. And one of them is the feet, and the feet is your structure. Where are you with your structure? What's your foundation? So it's a good time, if you're thinking about the peacock, to look and see, are my feet firmly on the ground? Am I firmly into the foundation of what I want in life? Am I truly bringing in and creating the life that I want? So take a good look at your foundation, and maybe meditate on the peacock and see what they can bring you for inspiration on your foundation as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially right now with us being grounded and rooted and being strong in our foundation with everything being new. You know, they say we entered this gateway and closure with the lunar eclipse, that the solar eclipse had started. So that would mean everything's brand new. So, so you don't get whirled away with all of the energy out there. Really important to stay grounded in your foundation.
Yeah.
And maybe your foundation changes. Maybe what you
It should
thought
change.
your foundation was, or what maybe what you grew up in is not your same foundation now. So are you still holding on to old foundations and old ways, like you're still trying to root back through those doors that are way back there and your feet are supposed to be somewhere else? I think your foundation can change. I don't think
it can change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just
It
came
should
through because I
change.
realized that I think I always thought of a foundation as something
That had to stay
to
forever.
stay.
It stays forever, but it doesn't, because your foundation should change as you change. So should your foundation change.
Yeah.
So you take it with you as you grow.
I like that.
You grow into your own foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid if that foundation starts cracking or breaking apart to go create a new foundation.
That's right.
Because that's still back to the point of our essence and who we are as light and love and that sun. So no matter where our foundation is planted, we're still taking that with us.
Right, because even the earth changes. The foundation of the earth changes. The seasons change. The earth changes. So its foundation changes as well. So open up and let your foundation change.
Yeah.
Have some fun with it.
And the peacock, I mean, there's a lot of royalty, people in royalty and stuff that use the peacock as being a protector and good for royalty. And
masquerade balls.
Masquerade balls, yeah.
They use a lot of peacock feathers.
There you go. And yeah, a lot of flower things and stuff, yeah. But the peacock also symbolizes the self-confidence. You know, they put their big old feathers out and they're not afraid to shine. They're not afraid to be bright. They're not afraid to be who they are. And I think it's always been important for that, but now more than ever with this energy, each of us have a unique skill and reason why we're here. So we need to embrace that. Let our peacock feathers open up, shine who we are. Don't be afraid of what people think. Don't be afraid of the people that maybe won't like you anymore because of who you've changed or who you're becoming, and just
strut your stuff.
Strut your stuff.
Strut your stuff.
Yeah, and I'm a people pleaser, and so I've done leaps and bounds from where I've been, but it still sneaks in every now and then. And if you're trying to please everybody, you're not walking in your own self-confidence. You're not.
Right, you're not pleasing yourself.
Yeah.
All of your time and energy is going to please other people.
That's why I say I'm not, I guess it's like, just a recovering, that's the word I was looking for, recovering people pleaser. So still, like I said, it pops up. So I just have to question and work through it when it does. Also, the peacock has got a very interesting call. Like its sound. It's a very unique sound.
Shriek. Kind of like a shriek.
And some people say that it sounds like it's laughing and stuff. And what I got from that is that not to take things so serious. Let ourselves have fun. And yes, we can be these beautiful, bright beings, but we can also have awkwardness or uniquenesses about us or quirks. And just have fun with them and enjoy those quirks and not judge them. So,
and laughter's good for healing. Laughter's good for the soul. If you can find a way to belly laugh, it clears way more emotions than crying. Laughing just really helps your body, and your body loves to laugh. It lets all sorts of things happen in your body when you can really belly laugh. Even if you just start laughing and you just bend over and you're just ha 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 ha, and you just bend over and you just start laughing till everybody in the room's laughing. That's good.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. Just
even
keep
if you
laughing.
Need to fake that laugh.
Yeah. Even if you do need to fake that laugh or be around kids. Kids are always laughing. They're always happy and they're always laughing.
Yeah. My kids definitely helped me reconnect with that.
Right.
And that's one thing we said. We each had that kind of our intention that we were last year taking things a little too serious.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of even doing these videos and stuff is just to have more fun. And doing our little peekaboo or just whatever comes through to us. Just
have some fun.
To have some fun and so that's both of us are
take the seriousness off and let the fun roll.
So. And we got some homework because obviously there is a ton of information out there. Luckily we live in this day where we can meditate and gain information. We can go on the internet, we can watch TV, we can social events. There's just like information is always coming at us. And so how do we discern that information, or if we hear something that really resonates with us and we're like, yeah, I want to change that, I want to reflect on that, just knowing the information isn't enough. We have to take action. We need to practice. And practice is a big one for me, because sometimes I just want that instant gratification. I just want to say, okay, I want to, lose weight, and here I'm at that weight, or I want to meditate more, and it just automatically happens, and it doesn't. We have to practice and have compassion. If we say we want to change, and it's practice, it does. It's something we have to do over and over for a long period of time without being attached to the outcome, to allow to come through.
It's the inner journey. Life is really lived from the inside. It's outward. It's never lived from outward. And so you really have to do your inner journey. If you're going to find your true self and your purpose, you have to start to begin to spend the time within yourself, because the whole new world awakens the more that you spend the time within you and get to know who you really are. There's a whole creative, fun world waiting for you out there to explore and be in.
And receive that.
Yeah, and receive it. and that's something, that's a good one that you brought up, because most people can't receive. They can give all day long, but when it comes to them receiving, they've got barriers that go up. So let your barriers down and see how much you can receive within the next month, and just be totally in allowance of receiving, and see what changes in your life from receiving.
Well, and receiving and giving needs to be in balance. And I think I'd be afraid to receive because I didn't want to be a deadbeat, or, I had probably a judgment of people that just, that's all they did is receive, and they were, but it's, and so I didn't want to be that. So then I created a judgment, and it's not about that.
It's not.
It's a balance, because you can be a giver, and never receive, and be just as imbalanced as somebody that takes, and never gives. And so we really have to find that balance, that flow of keeping that open, that wave open.
Or if you're next to a tree, can you receive the tree?
Yeah. That's funny. Your card was
it was a tree, but can you receive it, or do you turn yourself off from the tree and think the tree has nothing to offer you?
Because the tree gives us our breath, and then what we don't want, we send out. So there's this perfect give and receive with our trees, with supporting us with our breath.
That's
the thing that keeps us here in these little earth suits.
Bodies. Yeah, we're all energy, and energy's always flowing.
Yeah. So back to our homework, one of the things we came through is every time you walk through a door, whether it's in your house or when you're out and about, you can pay attention to what kind of door, what does this door symbolize in my life, and just coming to the present moment. Okay, what was I just thinking? What was I getting ready to do? What's my intention? How am I feeling? Just kind of checking in with yourself every time you go through a door. And if you forget and you're like, oh crap, I've gone all day and I forgot to reflect on my doorways, that's okay. So when you do think of it, oh wait, here's a moment that I need to reflect, and that's just practice to coming in the present moment. We hear that all the time. Be in the now, be in the moment. And you're like, what does that mean? Or how do I do that more? Well, so we're thinking this homework is just something to help trigger you, something that we go through, because now doorways are in your awareness. You might start noticing the paneling and what doors look like.
Glass doors. Whatever kind of doors they are.
Yeah, so just what can you reflect? And if it's just means you come back into your breath and take 3 deep breaths, and or you realize, wait, I was like subconsciously thinking about something else, I wasn't even present. Using those doorways as a trigger to help train and practice is one of the tools that you use to be more present.
Take that revolving door and just go round and round and round and round, let go of everything you don't want anymore through that revolving door.
And then you're having fun. And you're having fun too, so you can laugh while you're doing that, and you get the weird stares. So you get bonus points for doing that.
So have some fun with your revolving doors, the doors you're going through, but just make it fun. Or you can make it as sacred as you want. You can make it as fun as you want. The only thing, just do it.
Yeah. And I love that reminder again that it's different for everybody. So
it is.
There's no right or wrong. I may start prancing through doorways or dancing when I go through doorways, and if somebody else is more sacred and what does this symbolize? Whatever it is, it's okay. So
or bless it every time you go through. Bless the doorway.
Yeah, sending blessings to where you've been and where you're going.
Right.
And knowing that and then paying attention. Is this something I want to
keep
place
going through.
keep going back and forth. Is this one
That's
that
right.
evolves, or is this one that I just need to shut and never do anymore? So.
Right.
Yay.
Yay.
Part 2, we're not done with homework, is the mirror work. I know we talked a little bit about clearing your mirrors energetically, and if you guys have questions with our group, we can help support some of that. And there's tons of stuff that you can look up if you don't know how to clear energy.
Right.
But clearing your mirrors, being aware when you look in your mirrors, and I know there's a lot of people that have recommended doing mirror work where you look in the mirror. Can you look at yourself in the eyes and in the mirror and say, I love you? You're beautiful. Can you say affirmations and positive things to your mirror, to yourself? And what comes up when you do that? If it's uncomfortable, or if it's emotions come up, or I know some people that they're like, I can't do it. I can't say I love you to myself. Right. So why can't you? If that's it, or whatever.
Fake it till you can make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just say it until you really can feel it.
Yeah. And I've seen, sometimes people put affirmations or write on their mirrors or whatever. So just reflecting every time you look in a mirror, can you say something nice to yourself? Can you come back into the present moment? What does that mirror symbolize? If you're in a restroom and there's 3 people washing their hands, how do you feel? Can you look in the mirror and just be in your space? Or are you worried about what everybody else is looking at? Just play with the mirrors. Play with the mirrors, yeah. And then I know you, we talked about meditating with Jana and the peacock, or mirrors or doors, or the moon, or whatever. Just spending some inner quiet time in whatever way works for you. But if any of this resonates, or the pieces that resonate, maybe those are trigger you. If something triggered you, meditate on why, or what's coming through with you,
or ask what's right about it.
Yeah.
Even if it triggers you, just ask a question. What's right about this? What energy? What can I do with this? Because change comes from chaos. Change doesn't come from the normal peaceful harmony. It comes from chaos within you. And can you live with the after you go through the chaos and you have that new place within you? Can you just be in that new place because it's different? And sometimes you have more space. Sometimes it's uncomfortable because it was like you really like the old way. You don't know how the new way is going to be yet. But if you could just really stay present and see what's coming forth, and just grow to appreciate the times that you are changing, and it's okay. It's okay to be in your body and not know what's coming with the changes, but that you're letting go and that you're trusting and that you know it's going to be just fine for you.
Yeah, and back to the moon is the changes, trusting the changes. Like I think this full moon was supposed to symbolize our emotional baggage, but even specifically with your home life, your relationships, mothering. Where are you mothering other people that maybe you're not supposed to? Where are you not mothering yourself? Or like reflecting what comes through that with that, or your family, or nurturing. I think nurturing was one of the other things. Like, so remembering to use this. I think the full